Question type number 2A. Which of the following most logically completes the argument? So presumably there's going to be a passage, and all of that passage information fills up in this green little section here, the supporting leg. So basically all of these assumptions will eventually lead to something, and we need to finish this statement here to lead to a conclusion. So based on this, what can we conclude? Now, the other example of this question prompt, which of the following most logically completes the argument, is shown here. Now, this is kind of a little bit different because they have a passage, then the word since. So usually what this means is that there's an argument that's stated here. They want you to fill in the section with this keyword since. That tells us we want to find out what this section is. So since some reasons, we can make this argument true. Let's go back to the first one and take a look. Some teenagers citing freedom of speech say they oppose parents and teachers who chastise them for speaking their mind, provided what they say is their opinion, is honest, and is not derogatory to any of their peers or guardians. The authors of the amendments to the Constitution made no such provisions. Freedom of speech carries with it no responsibility to meet standards of honesty or respect or truth, especially those established by outside arbiters, students, teachers, and parents. So in this passage, we're referencing kind of an argument that teenagers make. They're saying that they can say anything they want as long as it's honest, it's their opinion, and it's not derogatory. Then the author of this entire passage is commenting on that statement and saying, hey, the amendments to the Constitution didn't say anything about following these rules. There's nothing in the amendments that says what you say has to be honest and has to not be derogatory. The author of this entire passage is saying, basically referencing that the amendments to the Constitution made no such provisions. Basically, the author is kind of attacking some of the reasons that the teenagers used. So gathering all of this information, what can we logically complete to make the argument? Well, here the answer choice turns out to be one's speech is free to be as dishonest and derogatory as one wishes. So this actually is a conclusion that's reached based on what the author is saying. The author first references somebody else's argument and reasons, and then basically says those reasons are not valid, and so this is the conclusion that's reached based on that logic. So we can see how we kind of gathered all this information, kind of clumped it into this supporting leg assumption, and then drew upon all this information to make this statement that one's speech can be dishonest and derogatory, basically the opposite of what reason the teenagers gave in the first place. Let's take a look at our second example. The attribution of mysterious mobile social networking app Mobile Social to Mark Pinkerman is regarded as tentative since it is based on the first comment posted in the app. Mark Pinkerman created this. Recently, several blog and media publications have emerged that named Mark Pinkerman as the creator of Mobile Social. Yet, no Mark Pinkerman has actually stepped forth to claim credit for the app. Unfortunately, these blogs and media publications lend no support to the attribution of Mobile Social to Mark Pinkerman since what? So basically the argument is saying that we can't tell that Mark Pinkerman actually made this because of what reason. So using this tabletop framework, we put the argument here, basically this last part, and then using the keyword since, we know that we're looking for the assumption that can support this argument. So what does the answer turn out to be? The recent blogs and media publications had no source for their attribution other than the earlier first comment posted in the app. So actually that kind of makes sense. So I can see how there's support for this argument. The reason why blogs, publications lend no support is because they're referencing an initial source, which was the first comment in the app, that app is only true to the extent that this statement is actually valid. There's no further support that Mark Pinkerman as an actual person was the one who created this application. So for question types, which of the following most logically completes the argument, you might see both variations where the passage might give you information, then you need to figure out what an appropriate conclusion is, or it could be the other way around where they make an argument or a conclusion and you have to provide some backup support to support that claim.